What's up guys, welcome back to another Arma Reforger video. This one is going to be awesome. The 1.6 update dropped in a ton of cool stuff, and I've rounded up the best mods you should absolutely try in your server, or if not, just dipping around in single player. Talking gear, weapons, vehicles and effects that will completely change your gameplay experience. Get comfy, grab a notepad and let's check out some must-have mods for Arma Reforger 1.6. Alright ladies and gentlemen, so spawning in, let's get started. We're going to start with props. We've set up a spawn here on Kolguev. We're not going to do maps. We'll do maps another time when everyone's made use of the new assets, but we just want to start with Placeables by Heine and Structures by Heine. Right, so this is the briefing room. These are just droppable buildings and we'll go through a few of them in the minute, and also you can sit in the seats too, as well as the briefing room. You can have blank rooms where you can put down boxes and things. This is usually the standard way of doing everything on the server. You don't need to do that anymore. You can make it look cool. This, I've literally just dropped this on the runway. It looks like it should be a part of it. And running in, you've got some electrical stuffs. You've got a little shooting range for the boys to have a practice on. Right, just all stacked up military looking aesthetic. You come into here, you got the whiteboard, you got all like the gear and things, so you can drop all your boxes in here and people come in and use this as a ready room as well. Don't forget to get your only Fanta on the way up to the briefing. So up the stairs, this room is absolutely sick. You got the intervention on the table, sort of like a the Mark Wahlberg shooter thing. But again, all these are sittable. You've got the maps and everything up there, so the guy can be up here with his briefing. He's got his laptop out. Alright, so it looks seriously cool. We use this on my server all the time. All the mods that you see here today are on my server. So a couple more bits as well. You got just little offices that people can sit in. I don't think people will actually come in and pretend to work, but hey ho, whatever you're into. Here's my office. Could do with a chair here though, Heine. Thanks mate. But the best bit is if you go into here and you're looking down, you've got placeables and structures. So if you put them on, this is everything involved. So let's do the placeables first. No trespassing. You've got all the big HESCO things. You've got glow sticks, lamps and ceilings. So if an area is dark, there's obviously not a lot of lights on in any of the buildings, so you can light them up now. Then there's things like this: nuclear bombs that work, nuclear reactors that explode and take down buildings, C4 bombs. Alright, missile carts. Alright, that's the bomb. Nuclear reactor as well, if it goes to poop. Right, this sounds a bit glitched right now, but still have the desired effect when it goes off in a building. Right, so you got all the effects. You've got dead bodies. You got all the broken cars. Police wrecks. Right, you've even got blood decals that you can put down, bodies, and you can set just an absolute murder scene. So really good for like zombie apocalypse ops and things like that. So this is Structures by Heine. It's 600 megabytes. That's the one with the ready room and everything like that. And then this is the placeables. Everything you get in it is pretty insane, and he's done a lot more as well. Aircraft and boats that you can put down, that you can even get on the planes. So definitely a guide to check out. You got all these props as well. These work well with the Cold War and the Kolguev map. These are actually destructible too. Alright, these are destructible as well. You can actually put C4 on them and blow them up. Bus wrecks, cargo containers. These work well with some of the military props. So you can put stuff in there like that and then conduct a raid on a base and find shit like that, which is pretty cool. And jumping into the structures, not to mention, you've just got things like that, and then you can use the other props to fill it. Big military outposts, shooting ranges, medical tents, just base building basically. Just saves you GMs hours. Look at this. Guard towers. There's so much in these packs, man. And also the briefing, so you've got a stage. But yeah, come up, you got the boys. Do your briefings. Pretty sweet. But look, you get so much stuff there, man. We just transformed this airfield. Alright, and that is some props for you guys. They're fully updated and working with 1.6. Okay, now let's get ready. All right, the GRS gear, that is what we'll be putting on today. Gear is unmatched. You don't have to download 6 or 7 gigabytes of RHS. My server is 7 gigabytes. All this is on it. Everything you see in today's video is on it, and a little bit more. So I'm going to put on the screen the things you will need for the GRS loadout. Footwear, apparel, essentials, modular vests and rigs, modular belts and rigs, and also one that's not by GRS is glowing glow sticks for GRS. And then I actually use a different headset, so let's get into that now. And you'll also see the Camo Faces. These are just on naturally. Right, this is what we use for this one. Gives you identity and character selector and 1.6 camo. This is just on automatically. You do not have to do anything to this. It's by Lone 18. It's absolutely amazing. It's so simple. Everyone spawns in with the camo cream on. And this is in GM. It's called the identity selector. You can go in and select what head you want, what camo you want, and it's persistent on the server as well. So every time you load in, I will look like this. Simple, easy, and sick. Now let's jump into the GRS loadout. Okay, we're going to do the headgear last. Totally blank. Let's dive in. Everything you see down here is all GRS. Literally so much stuff. So we're probably going to go with the full black outfit and make ourselves look cool as fuck. Right, so they come with the patches. We're going to literally just make the loadout I wear. Actually, we'll mix it up a bit because a lot of the boys on my server, obviously British. Yeah, if you look either side, it doesn't matter what server you're on. You chuck a patch on. You could be in the SAS, you could be a Navy SEAL, whatever. All right, so you go into here. Boom. I'm going to put a black modular chest rig on. So in the we've got bacon loadout edit on. Obviously, this is it now. Just type in bacon loadout. It'll save you tons of time. And then when you press edit, whatever the button is down there, it's X for me, whatever it is on controller. Right, this comes with plates, and then you've got all this. Once you've added all of this, there is more options. So for example, right, you can chuck a microphone on. Some stuff will override the others. So I've got a tourniquet on there, but if I wanted a knife, I can put that on there and it sort of glitches through. So you'll just have to go through and decide what goes on there. Like this, you've got the attack 1, 2, and 3 that goes on there. But if you want to see your patch, you won't be able to have that on. Alright, so you see what I mean? But we're going to override all that with a holster, because no matter where you put a holster, they have their own slot for the pistols. So we'll go through that once we get to the weapons section. So you can do anything you want here. Look at all the options, right? So we are just going to slap loads of stuff on. Radio pouches as well. So you'll see another like spanner appear on any of these. When you press it, you can literally have the radio. So you can chuck the base game radio in there, or you can use the GRS radios. I wouldn't suggest that one, that gets in the way a little bit. Like that. And they got little buzzing noises, which is sick. So again, we're still not even finished here yet. There's so much to do. You can add all the pouches, and then the pouches actually have the pouch storage, and you can put zip ties, whatever you want in there. So for your backpack, on your back, you go down, you just pick one of these panels. All right, when you've got the panel, again, you press edit on it, and you've got your setup. So we chuck a backpack on, we can chuck bolt cutters on there, we can have a flag folded up so you can see skulls, a flag on the bottom which is red, and you can chuck a pry bar or a sledgehammer on there. Alright, and coming out, that is now my backpack, absolutely decked. Tons of customized options, so you can make yourself actually look how you want. You don't need to do anything with a vest because it's just base game stuff. You've got all this on. Let's go to the pants quick. That's what it says on the tin. Right, pick what you want. We'll slap that on for lols. Jumping into the handwear. Gloves. Alright, fingerless gloves, pretty damn cool. Alright, this is also GRS still. We're just going to go with the red Ray-Bans, but there is loads of other options on there. Right, with the face, you got some beards. Different styles, etc. So slap a beard on. Neck, you got the schmags. Gonna put a black one on. But we'll put a white one on just because it's a different colour on there. Alright, moving down to GRS waist. You can select the black belt or whatever belt you desire. You press edit on it again and you've got all of this, man. You can just spend forever editing your guy. And we know a lot of people love that. You got the fanny packs. Let's remove there. So we're just going to go through, chuck pistol things on, knife accessories, scissors, holster straps. So you start putting the straps on over your legs and stuff. You can put the thing on there. Let's not have a holster on there. Hip holster. No, so don't put any holsters on there is my advice. Gear it up. Look, you got the rear carabiner. Let's do green. Now these are the glow sticks. They do come with base GRS, and as you can see, they are actually glowing on me there. You can get some front ones as well, but this would really help PID targets at night time. This is by Redneck Hacksaw, and it uses the GRS Essentials DevWork and Bacon Loadout Editor, so it's not associated or owned by GRS, but it is just a pretty cool feature. If you type in GRS on the mod store, you're going to get their apparel, patches, literally everything that you need that I've said in the screen. I will also put the ones that you need in the description, so be sure to check that out, guys. Alright, this is by Glitch. But we haven't finished editing our guy yet. We've still got a little bit of work to do. Let's turn the lights back on. Okay, GRS footwear round here somewhere. Boots. Okay, they had these ones. Tan, black, olive, red and snow. And then in the base GRS, without adding the GRS footwear, you do get the Vans. Alright, so we'll go for the brown boots for now. And that is pretty much for our character, minus the head. For the head, we use something called NBS Modular Helmets. That is this one. Alright, so they're pretty cool. GoPro attachments. Actually working glow sticks as well. And you can have the full face ballistic helmet if you want. Alright, so it uses an NV system and attachment framework. So GRS has got its own headset as well, so feel free to use that. I use this. Going down. So these are all the GRS headgear. Right. And you actually get loads of boonies and stuff with it as well. But with the NBS gear, it gives you this or the base, the tan version, sorry. So again, you click edit and look at all these options. So we're going to click the arcs on, which is basically the clicky bits. And you can put lights on, non-functioning it says. You got the tape, you can add blue tape on there. There you go, it's gone onto that side, but I don't like the tape left and right, so I'm not putting any of that on. Ears. Different contacts, I like the first ones. Battery goes on the back. Alright, non-functioning as of now. You get the strobe covers, you get the mesh covers. You can put on the mask, so you can either go, obviously I have to take the beard off, but you've got balaclavas to go over your face. The goggles as well, obviously I've got GRS stuff on, but you can have the Oakley sunglasses or the goggles. You can put a beanie on under your helmet. You got a headscarf that you can put on under your helmet, but it does get in the way of your face, so just be wary of that. You got these different patches, they're probably different ones you can put on. Glow sticks there, look. Alright, NV mount as well, so you can put the amber ones on there. These are all with this headset, right? If you actually put the night vision mount on, you can then customize that, and you can add like white phosphorus, or you can put the mount on as well. But I don't have the mount on, and that is what you would look like. Right, so another thing you can do is actually just, if you want to see your face, just slap them in there. And you can take them on and off as you need, if you need them for night time. So they literally weigh 0.2 kilograms and will not take up any space at all. Alright, and we have just missed one thing from the GRS stuff. There's so much customization on this. You're probably lost, I'm lost. Right, you've got the night vision slot as well on there. So if you wanted to use the GRS nods, you can slap them in, but it's the same system, so it doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to go to the drop leg side there, and we're just going to add these slots. Going into the leg holster slots, you can add the pouches, rear pouch, tourniquet. Right, you can have a big fat knife on there. Again, on the other side, you've got a holster. So we're going to put a black holster on there, and then you can add all the spare slots, the tourniquets, you know, pimp yourself out. And if we grab a pistol, we'll show you with the basic M9, because we've got some pistols to show off in the weapons. The leg holster, and you can see the M9 has gone into my leg there, and I've also added one to my chest. So we'll take them out for now because we're going to show you some stuff. So this is my guy. Alright, so Camo Faces, GRS gear with the pouches, looking absolutely tactical and milsimmed up, mercenary, whatever you want to create. SAS, Navy SEAL, there's options for literally every loadout. We haven't even got into the weapons yet, so I highly suggest all of that stuff. So that is the end of the gear section. We've still got weapons, vehicles, and effects to go. So let's get into the weapons, and then our guy will be completely ready. Okay, jumping into some weapons, we have a guy called Lowrider HD, and if you type him into the workshop like I have, you will find MK47s, SR25s, MCX Spears, the 1911s. Alright, you've got Benelli shotguns, RPKs, Glocks. These are really sweet weapons with not a high price of megabytes. 64 megabytes for that, 90 megabytes for the SR25. Comes with the scope attachment, fully automatic, 3 colors, 50 round magazines as well. This thing is an absolute beast and one of my favorite weapons on here. So do check out Lowrider HD or type in nasty. So jumping in, let's get into the SR25 and we'll show you this and the mod stuff. Ammo, FMJ, AP and Tracer, same exists for this. We'll put the Tracer on because that will show you some effects later. Alright, it comes with this optics as standard, so we will show you that, and then you can put stuff on there as well that comes with, like a torch. We'll just double torch it for now, and then we'll put a grip on. Alright, so that's my primary sorted. And having a look, beautiful weapon, nothing wrong with that at all. Alright, sounds pretty sick, fully automatic. Alright, recoil is not crazy either, and you can switch between a working red dot and the sight. This is AP tracer rounds as well. We've got some effects that go with this that we'll show you in a bit, well, with any gun. And then obviously you can turn the torch and things on as well. So we'll slap that on the back because we've got an honourable mention here, Rayz Optics. Alright, this is 304 megabytes. This should be on any server anyway by Rayz63 there, Rayz Optics. We'll just show you a few of them now. We're going back into SR25. We're going through all of these scopes and sights. Anywhere from 1x red dots, holographics, all the way up to like the Voodoo sight. Alright, check this out. Alright, with variable zoom as well. And then you've got your red dot on top. Getting into some more of the weapons. Okay, so you've got the Chris Vector, the Benelli. You've also got the Mutant in there. So let's show off an assault rifle. Okay, this is what comes with it. You've got the hammer sight, suppressor, 60 round magazine. And look at that sight. Alright, and you see the sort of scope effect is pretty cool. Right. That's fully automatic. You can take everything off these things. Put the suppressor off both of these items. If you want it to be loud. And again, the ammo, 60 round AP, FMJ, you've got the 30 round mags as well. Any of the sights are adaptable from the Rayz Optics, and then you can put all the attachments on as well. Same with the Vector, all of these weapons, right? 50 round mag, Osprey suppressor, right, absolute animal. Decent SMG if you want one. Looks really cool. Be a good little sidearm or something if you're running a sniper rifle or something like that. You need something to get close and personal. Right, now getting into the pistols. Right, it's got a Glock 18C. I think it needs updating. It'll run. I don't think it reloads, and it's got the switch on there, but just keep an eye on the update dates. Any mods on the workshop, last modified is what you're looking for, and basically anything from 1.6 update. So anything just go from the 1st of November onwards, you're going to be pretty solid with. All right, this is the Glock. Pretty insane, and you can pimp the hell out of it. Just gonna lob that on the floor. Right, Terran Tactical, there you go. You're going into the John Wick stuff. You've got torches on these, suppressors and sights, and they've got a hell of a noise as well. This is my favorite, the Kimber 1911. We used a stainless one. There you go. That's the thing blank. You got 8-round AP, torch, suppressor, and that thing looks awesome, man. And then the slide goes back when you have ammo. All right, baby. Right, there's some epic weapons. Okay, getting into vehicles. In all shapes and sizes and colours, you've got the JLTV. Miniguns, 50 cals, heat-seeking rockets. Are just insane. And the interior looks absolutely amazing. When you got the engine on and it all lights up, you got all the systems, maps, fire extinguishers. Look at the all the controls there. Yeah, JLTV for any server. It's such a small size. Joint light tactical vehicle by the Space Strider, updated 3rd 11th. Alright, it's got WCS armaments on it. This is 350 megabytes. Literally any vehicle that is armed in Arma Reforger usually has that on. So you will be downloading that pretty much for everything I've got in here anyway. It's just the peak Arma Reforger weapons systems. Alright, there you go. JLTV, the mod itself, 58 megabytes. So once you've got the WCS armaments on, any of these are really quite small. After the JLTVs, we've got the Abrams. Same deal. Alright, 89 megabytes, uses armaments. Can't go wrong. Space Strider again. The same with the T-72, which is here. The M2 Bradley fighting vehicle, 129 megabytes. And the BMP-3. So you're looking at the JLTV, M1 Abrams, T-72s, BMP-3s. Okay, now you've got something for everyone there. Enemy forces, friendly forces, to have the ultimate armor fighting battle. And the M1 Abrams makes some pretty sick noises. T-72 is pretty formidable opponent there, taking multiple RPGs for it to get destroyed. And then the BMP as well. That thing is an actual tank. We went in it last night and it was just taking shots and it was absolutely fine. So these things are sick. If you want to load up your server, say after the initial 300 megabytes of WCS armaments, you got 80 megabytes, 100 megabytes. There's probably about 400 megabytes of mods thereafter. Getting into some honourable mentions, WCS-AH6, obviously the little bird, loads of different variants. This thing is absolutely awesome. It needs to be on every server. Troop transport, whatever, it's just what you need. One that might not get mentioned a lot, the CH-53E Stallion. This thing is an absolute beast. It can house so many troops. The ramp drops down, the back opens up, and it's also got the Skyhook mod attachment, which means you can come in swinging Humvees and LAVs from it, dropping them off to troops. So this is a CH-53E sling load. Comes with armaments, Super Stallion itself, which is by Colton there, 1070, and the Skyhook mod, which is made by Soul Assassin. But yeah, you get this sling load one. This all still works fine. It is absolutely sick. And as you can see, it's dropping an LAV in there. Alright, so I've just slung 3 lots of rifle squads in there, and they're all sat in there absolutely fine, ready to leap out. I did forget to put the Bradleys out. There they are. Right, a little bit of troop transport and some serious firepower. looking pretty decent on the inside as well. Right, we take control of the Stallion. Look inside of here. It looks absolutely insane. Right, searchlights, landing gear, all sorts going on. If you ever need any buttons for all the WCS stuff, if you go into controls, no matter what you're on, helicopter, right, you got all the buttons there. Weapons, turrets, camera, game master, you got the A stuff there, WCS, all their weapons, how to deploy flares, and night vision as well. Alright, and you got your sling load toggle there. It's the home button on PC or left on the D-pad. I've got the WCS earplug mod on as well. If I press F2 on the keyboard, that just goes in. So that's the sling mod. I don't know what that cable's doing, but we're attached. You can go in. Alright. You can drop it off. Right, and that's a Stallion. Absolute beast. Alright, and that ends the vehicle segment. We got plenty in there, but a very low megabytes indeed. Let me know what you think to that collection, or if there's any more that you can think of on any of these mods really that could make it better. Right, let's go save me bloke, because we've got some effects to show you. So if you literally type better in on the workshop, bam, better hit effects, better tracers, better muzzle flashes, we've got all them on. There's better shrapnel, you got better sounds and better ammo, we haven't got them on in there. You got weapon immersion. Yeah, this is by Ashley, and these things are well worth having. Right, so you see all the hit effects everywhere. That was the shrapnel mod. Makes every explosion a bit more insane. Right, just bits of shrapnel going everywhere. Alright, we got better muzzle flashes on. And tracers, and better tracers too, so. And the tracers popping off make nighttime fights look absolutely awesome. We've got improved blood effect on. That's this one, just updated. You've probably seen this one before. Right, actually drops blood. Everyone's going to start shooting me because I've done friendly fire. But you get the idea. That makes a right mess, which is pretty cool. Jumping into the atmospheric weather. Alright, this one, you get so many options with this. You got all these weather effects now. Let's go for, you've got clear fog, heavy wet. As you can see, clear fog. Heavy wet fog. Right, pretty good, especially at night time if you're running zombie ops or things like that. Make it all spoopy. Light rain, overcast rain. Right, it says dry thunder. Right, so if you can click yes on automated weather, it'll just go through everything as you play. Get some clear fog on, go to like 6 o'clock on Call of Duty anyway. I've put it in like July, and look at this. What a beautiful morning compared to just your normal cloudy morning. Alright, get that on there. Look at that. Alright, and adjust the time as needed. Different effects. Looks absolutely sick. Love this mod. It just makes all the fights in the game look even better. Okay, at night time, Arma Reforger obviously updated to 1.6. This was probably what least people were happy about, was the night grain. As you notice, I have 0 night grain. That is because Filmgrain Begone, a whopping 1.51 kilobytes, and just removes the film grain added in 1.6. So they added it, modders take away. God bless modders. That's by Juju Tak Jr. And you can have your game back. Now if I put my nods back on, Okay. Night time, looking pretty sick. You have got the obvious night vision effect. And then I've got the white phosphor ones on, and you can hold shift if you're on mouse and keyboard and turn it up and down as needed. But alright, boys and girls, I think that wraps it up for weapons, vehicles, effects, gear. I think I've covered just about everything that you can have in a server. Alright, and if you're looking for a server to play, we've got 7.7 gigabytes on my server. We've got all that plus more weapons. We've got usable boats. Alright, Desert Eagles, different headgear, night vision systems. So everything that you see in there plus more. Cosmetics, tattoos, cigarettes, you know, all that stuff is optional. Zombies, shrapnel, whatever. Right, so that's on there. We play on that. It's populated most nights, 20-30 plus people. You don't need anything else really. No kit restrictions. We don't do milsim. We just have epic wars. Right guys, so thanks very much for liking that mod series for like 1.6. They're all tried, tested and confirmed. Any issues, anything you want to add or take away, just chuck in the comments below. Loving making the Arma videos. Everything's like popping off recently. Had loads of views from the 1.6 stuff. So thank you guys for everything. We'll catch you next video. Peace out.